Check, check, check. Mic check, test, test, mic check. Mic check, oh. Mic check, test, test, mic check, mic check. Mic check, test, test, mic check, mic check. Mic check, test, test, testing mic, testing mic. Mic check, test, test, mic check, testing mic, testing mic. Mic check, test mic, check, testing mic, testing mic. Mic check, test, test.
Is that media showing up last second? Oh, I'll just have to tell
Mic check, test, test, mic check, testing mic.
Jordan's 35, so maybe that's for an hour.
I know you are. I got you there. Right on. Is this on? Whoa, now we're on. How about a big round of applause for our musical guests here? As I said earlier, we've got Métis Music Royalty here, so thanks, boys, for being here. They're here all day? No? Just for an hour or two? Okay, right on. My name is Will Goodon. I'll be your Master of Ceremonies here this morning. I want to thank everyone for coming out. And I will have a couple of welcoming remarks, but as always, at our ceremonies, at our events, we have an opening prayer from an elder, and I am very pleased to be able to ask Shirley Langan to come forward and help us start this event in a good way.
Thank you so much. Always have to adjust the microphone for short people. Yeah. Bon matin, Tarashiki wow. Good morning. How is everybody on this very beautiful day? Our great Creator, we give thanks for your presence on this very special day. As we fly our Red River Métis flag proudly, which signifies both strength and unity. Jesus, the legacy the Red River Métis people will live on forever. Today is a time for reflection. You've always given our Red River Métis leaders, both past and present, the strength to defend our rights and freedom across our homeland. We stand proud on the soil on this beautiful province referred to as Manitoba. God, it is through the bravery of our ancestors who have lost their lives through battles fought. It is because of their courage, their determination. As Red River Métis people, we now have no shame, can hold our heads up, be proud of who we are and who we became. Lord, grant good health and safety to loved ones who couldn't join us today. Bestow hope, good health, and goodwill to the sick, the homeless, and the suffering. Protect us everywhere we go in our way of life. Heavenly Father, we give thanks for the blessing for the food that it is prepared for us to eat, and bless all those who made it possible for the food, as well as the people who prepared it. Great Creator, we want to take a moment to acknowledge an empty chair here today. for one of our ministers have passed on in heaven, and we know who he is, dear Lord. As well as the music is playing, the fiddle, we know that our ancestors who have passed on, and in particular, Will Goodon's ancestors who are up there in heaven, lighting up the skies at night, has played a very integral part of us being here today. The empty chair, dear Lord, is for Minister John Fleury, whom you decided to open up your pearly gates in heaven because you needed another angel to light up the sky. In the name of the Father, amen. Merci, miigwech.
Shirley, can you come back up here, please? As always, we have gifts for our folks who help us out with these events. And a couple of years ago, we did some beadwork, and it was an oak leaf. It was a green oak leaf. And last year, I'm not sure, I think it was a little too late before we started organizing, but this year, we are able to give you an oak leaf, and it's our hope over the next several years to be able to have 7, and they'll be the different colors of the leaves as they turn in the fall, as they move through spring, and then who knows, maybe we'll have some frog pins after that. But on behalf of the MMF, we'd like to present you with this pin.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will treasure it for the rest of my life. Miigwech.
Okay, as I said before, I'll introduce myself, Will Goodon. I'm the Minister of Housing, Property Management, Identity Protection, Inter-Indigenous Affairs, and I am elected from the Southwest region, and I'm also a descendant of Cuthbert Grant and his family. As I'm sure there's actually quite a few cousins in the crowd here today, as we seem to have connections to one of our very first leaders. Before I introduce our first speaker, I wanted to speak to that just a little bit, because a lot of times, and we do this, and we honor our past leaders, we honor our ancestors. Obviously, leaders like Louis Riel Jr. come to mind real quickly, and of course there's others that were around those two leaders' 100th anniversary. In 2016 we had a big deal. We had our National Assembly here, but every year since then we've slowly started to make this a tradition, and it's something that really warms my heart and makes me proud to be a part of this, to point out happened, the importance of those people who took that time in order to in order to proclaim, we are the new nation, nous sommes la nouvelle nation, and to write songs. For so many years, La Chanson de la Grenouille was known as the Métis anthem, and some would argue that it still is, and perhaps we can modernize it to some extent and bring that back. I think that would be a very fitting thing. But I just wanted to say those few words, and as the MC, I get to take as much time as I want. Not much anybody can do about it except not invite me next year. But it is a big honor for us to be here, to have folks from different levels of government, different departments of other governments to come and participate and celebrate with us on a day like today. And it's a great pleasure to introduce a good friend of mine. She is a Métis MLA, and she is here on behalf of the Honourable Wab Kinew, the Premier of Manitoba, who is also a friend of ours, as we all know. And again, brings me great pleasure to introduce MLA Billie Cross.
I also have short problems, so we're going to move this down a little. I was at a fundraiser on the weekend for myself and 2 other Métis MLAs, and we were laughing because through our genealogy, we're cousins, and they were talking about height, and I'm like, yeah, my side of the family clearly didn't get the height because they're way taller than I am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Billie Cross. I'm the MLA for Seine River. I'm a proud Red River Métis citizen, and I am one of 5 Métis MLAs that were elected in 2023. And so it's my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of Wab Kinew, the Premier of Manitoba, and Minister responsible for Indigenous Reconciliation. I want to thank the Manitoba Métis Federation, the national government of the Red River Métis, for inviting me to participate in this important commemoration. Manitoba is located on the homeland of the Red River Métis. Now, this is something we say or we hear all the time, but on occasions, such as this one today, this statement really drives home the importance of this recognition. Today we gather to commemorate and honor a defining moment in Métis and Manitoba history. On June 19, 1816, at what is now known as the Battle of Seven Oaks, the Red River Métis stood united to defend their rights, their land, and their way of life. This was not just a battle, it was a declaration of identity, of sovereignty, and of the enduring spirit of the Red River Métis. The victory at Frog Plains symbolizes the birth of the Red River Métis Nation, or La Nouvelle Nation, a true declaration of nationhood. When Cuthbert Grant Jr. flew the blue infinity flag at Frog Plains, he was asserting the distinct identity of the Métis Nation and fighting for our rights, not only to be recognized as a nation, but to affirm the Métis people's right to trade freely, to move freely, and to live freely on our homeland. That moment is something that continues to inspire generations and remains a cornerstone of Métis pride and resilience. Commemorating this victory not only allows us to reflect on the past, but to celebrate the continued strength of the Red River Métis Nation. It reminds us of the importance of protecting rights. Our identity, our culture, and our values are as relevant today as they were more than 200 years ago. The Manitoba Métis Federation, as the national government, has a vital role in preserving and celebrating this legacy. And I'm so proud to be a Red River Métis citizen. Your leadership in culture, heritage, and governance ensures that the stories of our ancestors are not only remembered, honored, but also carried forward. The Manitoba government is proud to walk alongside the Manitoba Métis Federation in friendship and in a spirit of partnership and true reconciliation. We're committed to supporting the aspirations of the Red River Métis and working together to build a future rooted in respect, recognition, and shared prosperity. On behalf of Premier Kinew, thank you for the invitation to be a part of this important commemoration. Let us continue to honor the courage of those who stood at Frog Plain by building a Manitoba where all peoples and nations are respected and celebrated. Marcy, Miigwech, and thank you. Thank you. One more thing to put on my side.
Exactly. Right on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Billie. MLA Cross. It's hard when you're sometimes friends with people who have distinctions, but government has in our many different partnerships that we have with your government. So thank you again for being here. Just wanted former politicians who are just civilians now, as far as I know. Gord McIntosh, and if you haven't read his book, please do. I'm actually in it. Just a little plug there. Yeah. Yeah, it was about a duck, so that'll give you some insight into that. And of course, our former minister, friend, citizen, Dan Vandell. Thanks for coming, Dan. It's great to see you. And I haven't forgotten I need to call you back, that phone call too. We'll talk after. And since we're talking about other levels of government, I'm happy to introduce representative from the city of Winnipeg, who is from elected in the Minarski ward and has been elected, I don't know how many times, 40, 50 times, 4 times. But he's well known in this area, and he's always able to come out to events like this, and it's always a pleasure to welcome City of Winnipeg Councillor Ross Eadie. So let's give him a big warm welcome. Over here, Ross. That's okay. We got the podium just about another foot here, so yeah, right.
Oh, there
here.
we go.
Yeah, and the microphone's right here in front of
Yes. Oh, there. Oh, great. Oh, is this an opportunity to sing? No. I wish I knew some really good Métis songs, but anyway, my speech today won't be as eloquent as Billie Cross's, MLA from St. River, but I have a lot of connection myself to the Métis community over my life living around here in the North End, and the people I call friends and hang out with. But let me just start off by saying that, the city of Winnipeg works towards reconciliation with the Indigenous people, the Métis Nation, and we always look for opportunities to help further the Red River Nation's government's initiatives that are happening in the city. We could probably name a few, but we've worked together a little bit on some housing initiatives for those of us who need a good place to live, affordable, and need supports to get their lives back together, because life could be very difficult. We all can't have great success like winning 4 elections in the Minarski ward, but it's working hard. But I committed to assisting the Red River Nation in signing on to the Indigenous Accord, and I really, whenever I get a call and I can do something to assist the Métis in furthering on good services for people living here in Winnipeg, we're all here together. And I've studied a lot of history on the Métis and on the Indigenous peoples in this area, but I took it upon myself to read a lot of books from people who tell the real story. And I really appreciate that, it's the Battle of Seven Oaks, there was victory, a nation was born, so to speak, and personally, I think that's really great. The Métis have done a lot for Winnipeg and Manitoba, working towards what we're all trying to work for, a better life for all of us, and I really appreciate that I'm here representing the city of Winnipeg to speak about it. I didn't get approvals from the mayor, but I know that the mayor is very supportive of the always looking for opportunities to work towards those good things. Now, I just wanted to say, the Métis Nation, I'm going to be joining it in getting married next year to one Amanda C. Ducharme, whose family's from St. Laurent, and I really enjoy going fishing with her because what we catch is what we keep, right? So, and so I appreciate all the work that the Métis people did to make sure that they have their rights in this province, in which, Louis Riel is the founding premier of Manitoba, right? As declared by Mr. Wabwanakwit-Canoe. And I think that's really important. So with that, I just want to leave it at that, and I continue to appreciate, and if you ever need to call and something's going on in the North End and the city can help, you can just give Ross Eadie a call, and I'll do my best to further on the cause of the Red River Métis.
Thanks, Ross. Thank you very much, Councillor Eadie. Let's show our appreciation again for Ross being here and participating in our event today. And we're going to hear from a couple of our ministers from our Red River Métis government here in just a little bit. But there's a couple of folks who are here, anybody, but of course, Minister and Vice President Denise Thomas from the Southeast region. And I'm pretty sure that's Minister Joan Ledoux standing in the back there pretending to be shy. And am I missing anybody? If not, we're going to move on. And of course, the site that we're on here today, several years ago, in preparation for the 200th anniversary, the Manitoba Métis Federation worked hard with Parks Canada to redevelop this place, to put some of the storyboards that you see here, to do more. He's here on behalf of David Beaudin from Parks Canada, Prairies and Northwest Territories Field Unit. Let's please welcome Jared.
Hello, bonjour. I'd like to start by saying good morning to our partners, friends, and the guests with us here today. Elder Langen, thank you very much. MLA, Councillor, thank you very much. And to the ministers, thank you for inviting us to this commemoration. My name is Jared Kist, and on behalf of Parks Canada, I am truly honored to be with you here today in the homeland of the Red River Métis, to commemorate the 209th anniversary of an event that played such a crucial role in the shaping of the story of our province and country. On this date, the Red River Métis people left this battle as a nation. 209 years later, here at Seven Oaks, on the Frog Plain, the Red River Métis Nation has become deeply enmeshed in the history of not only Manitoba, but Canada as a whole. Parks Canada is committed to protecting and presenting naturally and culturally significant examples of heritage throughout the country. And we are delighted that we get to continue to work with the Manitoba Métis Federation in pursuit of that commitment. The work that Parks Canada and the Manitoba Métis Federation have embarked on together includes conservation efforts and programming, allowing Canadians and visitors the opportunity to connect with our shared history. I am particularly grateful to be here with you today, as in my day-to-day role, I have a front row seat to the collaboration between our two organizations and have had that seat for many years. We are pleased to continue working with the Manitoba Métis Federation to help understand the movement and behaviors of the Cape Churchill caribou herd in Wapusk National Park in northern. At Riel House, you'll also find a historic garden tended to by Métis youth. The Manitoba Métis Federation has brought this garden to life for a 5th year in a row, reflecting the heritage varieties of vegetables, plants, and herbs that would have been grown by families like the Riel family during the late 1800s. Last season, 5 Métis youth grew their gardening skills and helped produce a successful bounty. And in the traditional practice of sharing the harvest, hundreds of pounds of the garden's fresh food was distributed to Métis citizens in need. As the seeds are planted for another season, we look forward to the continued cultivation of this important program. Parks Canada also strives to share the history of this nation at other sites, for example, through our knowledge sharing series, where we invite visitors to learn from guest presenters who share their experiences, knowledge, and skills. This year, we're proud to welcome back 2 Red River Métis citizens, Mélanie Gamache and Armand Jérôme, who will be showcasing beading and Red River carts, respectively. And we invite you all to join us this summer at the Forks and Lower Fort Garry National Historic Sites to experience this series. While we celebrate the tangible steps forward in reconciliation, we must also remember that today is the day of commemoration for a turbulent yet integral time in Manitoba's history that set the stage for a strong, lasting peace. As we continue to work towards working together and sharing the important stories and contributions of the Red River Métis, it will help ensure that Canada's treasured historic places, like this very site that we gather on today, will be a living legacy, connecting hearts and minds to a stronger, deeper understanding of the very essence of Canada and its diverse history. On behalf of Parks Canada, thank you. Merci. Merci.
Thanks so much, Jared. Very kind words, and you know, I do remember. Been with the MMF for a little while. 1996. You know, and we were struggling, to be quite honest, in those early days, and you know, those relationships that we built over the years took some time. But I do remember working with Parks Canada in some of my previous roles, and you know, finding open doors. You know, there was still lots of work to do, and but I'm very happy to hear about all the positive work that's happening, in particular with the Indigenous Protected and Conserved Area initiatives. That was close to my heart. I sat on national committees for 4 or 5 years on that issue, and it's good to see that that has come to fruition, and we're making some headway. So the next person interrupt. I'm not going to interrupt. So the next person to introduce. There's my first mistake of the day. Now, nobody start counting because you'll run out of fingers. But I am very proud. He takes his role extremely seriously in the protection of our culture and heritage, and the young people are given opportunities to participate. Here today in his role as the Minister of Culture and Heritage, and please help me welcome Vice President and Minister Alfred Anderson.
More this year than we had last year. I am Alfred Anderson, the Vice President of the Interlake Region and Minister of Culture and Heritage for the MMF National Government, the Red River Métis. It's an honor to be here with you today as we reflect on the important moment in Red River Métis history. We have to know where we're coming from to know where we're going to. Today we gather to recognize the victory of Frog Plain, also known as the Battle of Seven Oaks. This event, which took place June 19, 1816, stands as a powerful symbol of Red River Métis resistance, unity, and pride. Led by Red River Métis leader Councillor Grant, our ancestors defended our right to trade, to survive, and to protect our families during the time of deep hardship and rising tensions in the Northwest. The Pemmican Proclamation, which attempted to block the Red River Métis from trading their food, struck at the heart of our way of life. What happened at Frog Plain was not just a battle. It was a defining moment that showed the world the strength and the resolve of the Red River Métis as distinct people. At the time, colonial officials and settlers called it the Massacre of Seven Oaks, a name that was ignored the truth of what happened and portrayed our ancestors as aggressors. But this was not a massacre. It was a response to the years of pressure, food restrictions, and attacks on the Red River Métis way of life. Over time, our community reclaimed the story. It became known as the Battle of Seven Oaks, and within our community remembered it as the victory of Frog Plain. The Red River Métis flag was seen at Fort Capel on December 8, 1815, and later at Brandon House in the spring of 1816, flown proudly by the Red River Métis riders led by Councillor Grant. It was during the Battle of Seven Oaks, at the victory of Frog Plain on June 19, 1816, that our flag was flown into combat for the very first time. It stands as a powerful symbol of who we are and what we stand for. This change is now the event is remembered speaks to the importance of sharing our history through our own perspective. It honors the courage, the leadership, the unity of the Red River Métis. Our ancestors stood together with strength and purpose. Guided by our values, our culture, our language, Michif, they changed the course of history. Though the battle itself was brief, its meaning carries forward to this day. The courage shown by the Red River Métis at Frog Plain continues to inspire us as we build a strong future grounded in our identity, our culture, our rights. We honor the memory of those who came before us, including Cutler Grant and the Red River Métis who stood alongside him. Their legacy lives on in every step as a national government of the Red River Métis. Thank you for being here today, for walking this journey together with pride and purpose. McWitch. Now, just one last thing, I want to invite you all to National Indigenous Peoples Day. It's our 18th year putting it on in Selkirk Park. Everything is free. I'd like to see you all there. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Minister. Much appreciated. We have one more speaker, and then we're going to make our way over to the Seven Oaks House. I'll explain a little bit about what's happening there. But it is also an honor to be able to invite up a good friend of mine, someone who is clearly passionate about who we are as a nation. You know, those kinds of things are reflected through the centuries. You know, David Beaudin, who's the Minister of Agriculture, but is representing the Winnipeg region here today, is a clear example of that passion. You know, when, you know, we didn't always set out to start fights, but we a lot of times finished them. And, you know, we had that passion that is shown throughout the years. And it's still there a little bit at times. So please help me welcome Minister David Beaudin.
Always got the passion going. Thank you, Will, for those kind words. I'd like to, just off the top of my head before I get into this, I'm the last speaker, so that means I'm going to talk for about 3 hours. I just wanted to say that they are all excellent speakers, and I try to follow in those footsteps as a younger minister on cabinet. And of course, we're taught to acknowledge our elders and that are here today, and also our opening prayer by Elder Shirley, and also to recognize our MLAs that are present, and former MPs and city councillors and all the other dignitaries that are the Minister of Education, Joan Ledoux, who's been a real guide to my time on cabinet so far today. I just want to give her a big shout out to say thank you, Minister, for everything that you've done for me. I also want to give a shout out to any members of the LGBTQ plus allies that are here today. Regrets from Minister Carrier and Minister Remillard. They both have other duties that they are attending to today on behalf of President and also portfolios. Of course, my name is David Beaudin, the Minister of Agriculture, Associate Minister of Provincial Education, and Executive Director for the Winnipeg region. And I'm here to bring some remarks from them. And so to be here with everyone today, remembering and reflecting on the victory of Frog Plain, also known as the Battle of South, an essential trade item that fed entire communities across the homeland. Our families worked hard to produce it, store it, and trade it with others. It was a symbol of our independence. But in 1814, the Pemmican Proclamation tried to take that away from us. It blocked the export and sale of pemmican, threatening the very foundation of our economy. Our rights to trade, provide, and to live freely were all placed at risk. Cuthbert Grant and the Bois Brûlés stood together for our right to free trade and commerce. That the Red River Métis voices could not be silent, would not be pushed to the right to survive and to thrive. Today, as Minister of Agriculture, I carry that message forward. I bring it forward where we came from. We remember this history not only to honor those who stood their ground, but to guide us in the work we do today. Food is still power, trade is still strength, and culture is still resistance. On behalf of the Winnipeg Regional Executives, let us walk forward, always remembering the footsteps that led us here today. Merci, Tanji, thank you.
Well, that's all of our speakers for today. Just wanted to wrap up with a couple of thoughts and announcements here. So after our closing prayer from our elder. We're going to be having a hot dog barbecue. It's at the Seven Oaks House, and those of you who aren't familiar, it's just down the street, so you just go down Rupert's Land. You might need to take a little jog to your right, and then there's a lane that goes towards the river. It's this called Seven Oaks House not because it's affiliated with the battle, but it is affiliated with a prominent Métis family who lived there in the early days, and it's a museum at this point. We've had great partnership with the administration and staff at the Seven Oaks House Museum over the years, and they've opened their gates with open arms. I want to give a big shout out to them because their partnership as well is so much appreciated. In fact, I think it was last year where there was some graffiti that was painted on the side of the house, and it is a heritage site. It is all original. So what we did, at least in our housing department, we grabbed as many folks as we could. I think there was 7, 8, 9, 10 came out. We were given, I think, steel wool because of trying to protect the outside of the home, and rubbed off as best as we could. And then after that, there's a special heritage paint that needs to go on those. You can't just go to Home Depot and buy paint to put on these heritage buildings. So we were part of that as well. And it's not something that we want to get kudos for, but it's something we want to say that we are partners. And when our allies respect our history and open their doors to us, that's something that we want to reciprocate as well. So they are amazing folks over there, and I believe the boys are going to be playing over there as well. On behalf of our president, thank you very much for being here. He does send his regrets. People ask me that I'm busy, but that fella is about 100 times busier than I think anybody. The value in an event like today, and has always supported everything that we've done here. So we want to say thank you to our president, our cabinet, our staff who do such a great job in organizing. Big shout out to culture and heritage staff for the work that they're doing, taking on this role here, and very much appreciated. So again, we are proud to be here. We're happy that people are starting to understand that we are a nation. We're not just mixed, that we are a distinct people. We have a language, we have a culture, we have political action, we have kinship connections, and we are in a distinct area that's within our homeland. And events like remind us of why that happened, of what happened in 1816, and why that event that happened in over 200 years ago still resonates today, and why it's so important that we never forget those ones.
Love and mysterious presence reach you through prayer. Your patience is the companion of wisdom and grace. Even just to know you will walk with us each step of the way. Almighty God, we ask for your protection of our inspirational Red River Métis leaders, President David Chartrand and all of his cabinet ministers. You have bless the presence and guidance of our youth, for they are our. Jesus, grant good health and bestow good and goodwill to all of us. We know it is important, water and animals. Lord, let your light shine on all the people who are struggling with the wildfire situation. With your almighty presence, as we depart, we ask you to bless us through the remainder of the day with your never-ending love as you guide us safely home. In the name of the Father, merci, miigwech.